E.A.F.P podcast.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe.
We love him so much. He's a special person for all of us. He's so nice. He's so nice.
You can watch it live every week on Facebook under the Jonko Navi and the Star 6 Media Facebook page. Hi everybody. How's it going? How's it going? Is everybody having a better day? Is everybody having a good day today? Better day than me? Anyone out there? There's somebody out there. I don't care who it is. What's up, everybody? The E.A.F.P podcast here live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch under the Jonko Navi Facebook page and also the Star 6 Media page. Make sure you guys follow us on other social media platforms. I'm trying to get it together today, guys. I'm trying so hard. But yes, make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, all that. Jonko Navi, Star 6 Media, all that good stuff. We day 2, match day 3s, Group C, Group D, all of that today is what we're talking about in definitely a lot to talk about today. Okay, let's get started. Let's get it started. Let's go with Group D. We already know France was already into this World Cup and not advancing to the next round. And you know, they were just waiting for who they're going to face out from Group C. But today they made like 9 subs, and they ended up losing 1-0 today. They got a late goal towards like the 90th minute that was ruled off offsides. They're still first place in the group. Nothing was really going to change to that difference for them to even lose their spot in first. They're already on to the next round. So, it's what you expect. All the stars were gone. 9 players subs. Fresh players coming. Vinga got his first playing minutes. France they just look off. You just could tell that everybody was just their first game. You got first game jitters. You know, they did good up until like the 50. The start of the second half wasn't that good for France, and it showed. And Tunisia put away the goal. I mean, they had a fighting chance to even make it second in the group, but that was surely taken away from them by this score line between Australia and Denmark. Another good game too as well. Both of them playing, but Denmark looked slow. Denmark did not look good. I did not like what I saw from Denmark today. I didn't even like how they looked throughout the whole entire tournament, to be honest with you. I think Denmark was very disappointing this tournament around in this World Cup. You thought that they were coming out of this group not easy. We knew that the game against this game against Australia was going to be a tough one for them because Australia has been there, done that, but this is the first time. I mean, they haven't advanced out of the group stage for the first time since I think it was 2006. But even then, so Australia will always play you tough. Denmark didn't come through. They didn't come through at all. 1-0. Great goal by Matthew Licky right here. He took the defender 1v1, cut back, shot it with his left, shot opposite side of Peter Schmeichel and or Kasper Schmeichel. Sorry, that's his dad, Kasper Schmeichel, that's how they advance. Just with that one goal, Australia is into the round of 16 for the first time since 2006. So it's going to be France and Australia heading into this World Cup out of Group D. I don't want to do this, but I have to. I promised you guys I was going to. But man, I mean, I shouldn't be this upset. I shouldn't be this mad. I really shouldn't. But the only reason why, I care about this team and I enjoy the game. All right, let me just put that out there. I shouldn't be upset. Yes, as I'm rocking the hoodie, rocked this all day today. As I was screaming goals every time Mexico had scored. As I was just everything, all the everything. Jose, shut up. Everything that was it just first things first. As I'm putting this on our stream, the link that you guys could join me into as well to talk about the game and everything else. Um, it shouldn't. I'm trying to find words, not so I could. It's hard. It shouldn't be this hard. It should not be this hard for me. I promise you guys, it shouldn't be this hard because I could talk about this all day. But the only reason why it's only this hard is because why are we seeing this for the very last game? Why didn't we see this? I mean, we saw it against Poland, but it was a very underwhelming Poland team from the first game. Why didn't we see this from us? I really did. At first, I was like, I don't mind Herrera starting, but after seeing the first game, it's like, yeah, this guy shouldn't even start. I, the front three today was a lot more better, but that's because they had Luis Chavez and they had I can't even think who was in the starting lineup today. Jeez, who was the other middle that started today for Mexico outside of Edson Alvarez? Jeez. I'm trying to look for it right now. Give me a second. Luis Chavez. What are we doing? There you go. Okay. This should have been the team. That should have been the way how Mexico should approach the first game. This is the same way that Mexico should approach the second game instead of playing with a line of 5, with like a line of 8, and just Alexis Vega and Chucky Lozano on top for the first. Like this was it. Like, look, we were guaranteed no points, at least a minimum a point against Argentina coming in when this first group came out. Okay. The Poland game, the Poland game, that should have been where we could have gotten. Now, look, we would have been okay with a tie, but there should have been some goals scored into this as well. But now seeing this, like the way, like there was no excuse for why Mexico if they would probably play the same way all 3 games, there shouldn't have been a reason why Mexico should at least would have gotten 7 points, at least. And the matter of the fact is that Tata Martino is a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. I don't understand. And we questioned him from the start. It's been a rough 18 months for the Selección Mexicana, starting way back last year. And we've seen the decline in this team. But the stubbornness because he has his group of players, he doesn't want to switch it up. Okay, cool, that's fine. But you have to bring players that are in the moment. El Bebote Jimenez, why isn't he on here? Chicharito, why isn't he on here? I could care less about Carlos Vela. Vela is neither here nor there. Raúl Jimenez, I love Raúl Jimenez with all my heart, simply because where he came from, and I've been mentioning this over and over and over and over and over again, and I said it time and time and time again. And I was okay for him to be in this World Cup squad, but he should not be in the starter, and that I'm okay with that. He should have been a sub. I'm okay with that. Henry Martin, who had a very great season with America leading up to this World Cup, deserves to be in the like that. If that was one player that deserves to be in this World Cup, just like how I mentioned, it's Henry Martin. Easily. Then after that, like, I get Guardado. Guardado only played like 40 minutes, then he got hurt. Like, I get why you want him there because of the leadership. Hector Bonero, say what you want to say. The last goal, he kind of almost gave up, but that's all we get from Hector Bonero. But he played an okay World Cup. Hector Herrera, I'm sorry. There's a reason why he's in that MLS now. There's a reason why he played the way he played, and he shouldn't have been in either of the games. And if he did, at least as a sub, that would have been fine with Hector Herrera. But even then, so I question that decision. The game against Argentina, you take out Chucky, you take out Alexis Vega, you put in Raúl Jimenez, and there's no type of service whatsoever. Uriel Antuna, I preach, and I try to give the kid credit where credit is due. Today, there's no point of him being in this game today. There was no point making that sub for Alexis Vega when he was doing great. He was doing good. There was no point. Like they're attacking. I didn't even see Antuna come in after he got subbed in halftime. I didn't even see him do anything. And then in bright moments, yes, the energy was great, Jose. You're right. It was there exactly. Intensity was there. It should have been the mindset from the start. Yes, I agree with you 100%. He's an idiot. I agree with you. Coaching issue. Yes, you're right. It is what it is. I'm trying to get the scoreline here that like I normally do. There you go. Where was I now? Oh, yeah, that's right. The subs. Everything. There was no point of taking out Henry Martin for Raul Jimenez. I think nothing should have been changed. If there was some type of changes that they need to make, it was just a little bit more of an attacking middle type. But guess what? You don't have Diego Lainez up there. Look, Luis Chavez scored probably the second goal that Luis Chavez scored. It will probably make definitely the top 10 goals in this World Cup because there's still the round of 16 left to play. And for sure, it's one of the top 3, 4 goals, top 5 goals into this group stage for sure. I do not. I don't unless if there was some type of injury that nobody to this right now up until this very moment at 6:42, 3 hours after this game has already finished. There has been no reason why Alexis Vega was substituted at halftime. I never gotten it. I still don't get it. I don't understand it. And then on top of that, even then, so look, there was still time. They scored the second goal in like the 51st, what I have right there, 52nd minute from Luis Chavez after that beautiful free kick from there. There was times Argentina was winning 2-0. All we needed was either one goal from Argentina or one goal from the Selección Mexicana. And there was opportunity, trust me. The offsides from Uriel Antuna, all right, cool. The other offsides from Chucky Lozano, or that was from off of Henry Martin, all right, cool. Those are very, very, like, this much close of the reason why the offsides were, but Mexico were threatening even on top of that. That still shouldn't have been the fact. The reason why they couldn't play like this in the first 2 games of this damn World Cup, instead of sitting back, playing whatever with a line of 2-3, what line of 7 in the second game against Argentina, and definitely didn't play with the same intensity in the first game against Poland when you knew you had the advantage of a better team, yet it was just not properly placed simply because you didn't have the proper players into. You could tell that this team was different and they were hungry from the first start, from the get-go. So you're trying to get the first goal. You could easily saw that in the first 20, 15 minutes of the freaking game. It was just unfortunate that the goal didn't come in for the Selección Mexicana up until the second minute of the second half by Henry Martin, in a Henry Martin way type of goal. That's how he was scoring his goals, and when he first started playing with America, and that's how he continued making his goal, just being at the right place at the right freaking time. But you subbed him out for Raul Jimenez. Why? Why are you taking him out for Raul Jimenez? And on top of that, fair play, yellow cards, those are part of the games. But my question is, I mean, and I get it. There was a reason why they had to put what other type of stipulation if all the teams were, if it would ended like the amount of cards that shouldn't be a factor on why you should advance or not advance to the next round, because you get the most yellow cards. Great. Why do you have the FIFA rankings then? What's the whole point of the FIFA rankings? I mean, clearly every year or every 6 months or every whatever time it is, you make a ranking of the best national teams out there. Hell, you had Belgium up there for 5, 6, 7 years consecutively in first place, and they don't have done diddly squat in this World Cup. Why do you have them up there? What's the whole point? Tell me what is the whole point of it if you're not going to use it? But yellow cards and red cards are going to determine if you have identical record from the same team in your group, is going to determine who advances. And I get it. You have to find a way for another team to come up, or for a team to whatever team to if they're equal, who's going to take the next step. And I get that they had the same amount of goals scored as the same amount of goals scored on. And after a while, when it was 2-0 both ways, you still like that was your determination right there. And that was the reason why Mexico were still kind of pressuring going on top, simply because they had more yellow cards than Poland. And the one yellow card person that they had in the game, they took him out literally like in the 70th, 60th minute of their game. The fact of the matter is that I'm upset that we didn't get this performance from the start. The fact of the matter is I'm upset that we didn't have it. We never saw this in the last year and a half or so. The reason why I'm upset is because when ego gets in your way of trying to make a team better, fails a team. And that's what Tata Martino says. He said his contract was up after the referee blew the whistle. Thank God, get out. I'm okay. Goodbye. I'm good. I even have coaches who I never played in professional level that probably would have done a better job than you. Hell, even there's even players, there's even people like myself that haven't played in a professional level that knew what was better for this team because we all saw it with our two freaking eyeballs. We saw it literally for the last 2.5 years. We saw it from the moment you made this the call up selection on the reason why players should be there and why shouldn't they be there. I never got Guardados. There's other opportunities. You've seen Luis Travis. Luis Travis had a great World Cup. Edson Alvarez, you're probably your best on-field player in your team. You sent him against the biggest game in the group stage with Argentina. You put in Andres Guardado and Hector Herrera instead of Edson Alvarez, your best player, your best outfield player in your team, and you put him on the bench. They knew they had to win. That's why they look better. Saudi Arabia couldn't even find their own rhythm of the game in the whole 90 some odd plus minute up until the last goal, simply because Mexico was pressuring up on high. And their goal they got in the 95th minute. Yes, 2 goals were taken away because of offsides from Mexico. You can't tell me that they did not play their hearts out. They did, and I'll give them credit where credit is due. But why in the hell you did not play this in the very beginning when we knew that this group was there? Argentina was the toughest one, and that's it. Poland wasn't coming good into this World Cup, and who the hell knew anything about Saudi Arabia unless the people actually look in detail to Saudi Arabia? We knew they were fast. I think the United States men's national team played them before the World Cup, and we saw them there with the same exact squad that they had them there. But we knew that Mexico, man for man, was a better team than Saudi Arabia, and yet it was shown today, but it wasn't shown in the other 2 games. And that's why they are out of this World Cup, because they didn't have the balls to come out the second game. The coach did not prepare them just the right way for the first game, at least the first freaking game. They didn't play him well. And then he decided to sit back and just whatever, gave Argentina the damn game in the second game. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And the fact that he says, well, my contract was over after the ref blew the final whistle. I don't care if that was your final contract. Even if you made it out of the group stage and into the round of 16, you weren't coming back. But the fact of the matter is you had a whole 18 months of the same bullshit for 18 months. And when the biggest stage of them all, you still come with the same bullshit and you try to be cute, and it failed miserably in this World Cup. What's up, Rick? He says that's why Martino's out. Bye, Felicia. There has to be wholesale changes for the Selección Mexicana. There has to be wholesale changes in the Selección Mexicana, starting from the top. Starting from the president of Mexico and on the way down. The youth team is shit. There is no youth team to, like, even when there is a solid youth team. I mean, what hell? We had the U17 win the World Cups for them. Some of the players did not even make it. Some of the players are not even playing from the last time that Mexico won a World Cup. They didn't even make it to the top team. You would think that those are the type of players you want on your team because they played on a big stage in their age group and want to build from there. None of that this year. There's no regulation in the Selección Mexicana, and if there is, the team that's in last place has to pay, I think, a fine to stay up there. Where's the development? There is no developmental system in Mexico at all, period. They bank a lot on these players that come in these youth ranks from their clubs and hope and pray that some of the players go out to Europe. Okay, there's fine. Look, Jimenez is out there. Edson Alvarez is out there. Chuck Lozano's out there. Um, who else is out there that I'm trying to remember? Linus is out there, who's not even in this team. Neither is Jimenez. Um, there are other. There's like at least 8, 9 players that are in Europe right now at the moment, but we know they're there. But what about the young squads? What about the kids? What about the kids that want to have the opportunity? And what about the players that are are in the segunda or below the top team in the top league in the selección and Liga Mexicana? Where are they? Why aren't they given a chance? Do you honestly believe you and I and myself look and I'm capable and I'm at fault at this because all I see is one team and that's Club America and then everybody else that goes along with it and I'll see a game here and occasionally, right? And I'm guilty of this and I'll admit it. But why aren't there any scouts in their own country instead of going, yes, it's fine to have players from other countries, from South America, from Central America, hell, even right here in the United States and everywhere you go. But why we don't invest in our own country? Why don't we invest in the young players in our own country? And this is a problem that starts from the very top, from the Selección Mexicana, from the federation of Mexico. It starts from the top. And nothing is going to change if those parasites in that federation are out. We need a new crop of owners, a president, of everything that we can think of to make this work. That's the only possible way that this can work. And if it's the same crap, to be nice, and if it's the same crap, then it's going to be the same thing for the next World Cup. And guess what? There is really going to be no competition unless if it's like the Nations League or the Gold Cup. That's the only serious competition Mexico has for the next 3.5 years now. Not 4, but 3.5 years. Simply because their ticket is already in the World Cup because they are hosting the World Cup with the United States and Canada. So we're going to have 3.5 years of not so serious competition outside of the little tournaments that we have year in and year out anyways. Other than the little tournaments, the World Cup qualification for CONCACAF is going to be so simple and so small that when the World Cup comes in 2026, like who are we going to have that much confidence in to being in the squad? Who's going to be your goalie? Because the Charles is 37. He's going to be 41, 40. When the World Cup comes in 2026, everybody's been screaming Acevedo. I agree. I thought he should have been at least as a backup. At least to give him that to compete with the best of the best in the Selección Mexicana. Acevedo should have been there instead of goddamn Talavera, who's 40. You didn't even play him once. Nobody from the goalkeepers were going to get an opportunity to play as long as Ochoa was there, and unless if he got hurt, that was it. But Acevedo deserved to be in the squad. Even though he wasn't going to play, unless injury happened, even though he wasn't going to play, he deserved to be in the squad. Who's going to be the next running mate for Cesar Montes? Because Nestor Araujo ain't going to be there. He's already 30. And hell, he's already looking slow. Hector Moreno looks like he's going to be, out of football with the next 2-3 years because of his age of being at 34, 35. So who's the next center back that you have? You could play Edson there. Edson can play center back, but then who's going to replace him in the middle? As you can see, he's the only guy that fights for every ball side to side, left and right, up and down, for you to get the balls in the middle. Who's gonna replace that? You need a right back because Jorge Sanchez fucking sucks. I'm sorry, but I rather had Kelvin Alvarez there day in and day out because Jorge Sanchez to me proves to me time and time again that this guy cannot defend. Yes, he's an Ajax. Yes, he can improve. Yes, he's still young. But even when he was with America, I never liked his style of playing because he's only one particular style of playing, and that's running. And he's quick. I'll give him that. He's fast. He had a better second half than he did the first half because goddamn, that first half was atrocious from him. Shout out from Planet Fitness. What's up, Josh? Hola, mijo. Planet Fitness. Hola. Nice. Good job. I think the middles are going to be fine with Luis Chavez. I enjoy him. Charlie has to pick up his game. I enjoyed Charlie a couple years ago. I think he needs to pick up his game a little more. Orbelin, I mean, I don't know what you do. I don't know who's you're pairing for the middles, but if there's anything about the Selección Mexicana that I feel more confident in, is the middle part of the field, simply because the players. Luis Chavez had a spectacular World Cup. His free kick today was amazing. Literally, he's going to be top 5 of the group stage, maybe even top 10 in the whole entire World Cup. It could not get any better and any perfect than that. And he almost had another one to put Mexico in the lead too as well. Your forwards, I mean, Henry Martin did what he can. Fine, that's great. Tata Martino, he already said his contract was over the moment the ref blew the whistle. So there's no Tata Martino after today, after 3 hours ago. So, and besides, even if he did last it that long, he wasn't even going to get another contract because this was a shit show from him, literally from the last year and a half. So, whatever. And guys, you could join me in the comments, just like how everybody's doing, from Jose to Rick to Josh, or if you want to join me to talk personally, face to face too, as well. The link is on here too. You come join me if you guys want. You don't have to show your face. You can just talk to me. Tell me how you guys feel about today. I mean, look, I know I shouldn't been. I know I should not be this upset. I shouldn't, because I saw this coming literally since the group was drawn back in February, March, or January, whenever this group was drawn. But the fact of the matter is like I mean, I care because I love the sport, and this is the team that I've been following since I was, and I think everybody else too, right? It just sucks that the fight, and this is why I said yesterday that I was gonna get mad no matter what if they would have lost or if they would have won, because why didn't they play this? Why didn't they play like this from the very beginning? My sister was on here saying that, like, oh, well, all we need is this many. And then I said, okay, then why didn't they do this in the very beginning then, if this is what we needed? If we knew that this is how they could play. And speaking of which, right on time. You see, hermana? You see, hermana? The obsession's all over the place, I swear. It just pissed me. It infuriates me to the point that this is how they go out. And yes, they went out fighting. Yes, they went out, giving it their all and stuff like that. But where was this from the first game? Is all I'm trying to say. Where was this in the game against Argentina? Is all I'm trying to say, to avoid this situation. To the fact of the matter is that we were still tied. We had the same amount of the same literally stats for Poland. It's just that we had more yellow cards, and they were going to advance for more yellow cards. That's why the goal from Saudi Arabia was scored, because we still had to score one more goal. And I still haven't even gotten to the Argentina game, who, by the way, won 2-0 against Poland. And then there another situation there. Messi decides to miss the penalty that was probably the difference maker of this game anyway, because if he puts that one in and Argentina scores those two, that's 3-0, Mexico's already in the next round. So again, we had to rely on other people and other teams too as well to get in, instead of us controlling our own destiny. And that's, to me, is what's the infuriating part about this. Even if Messi scores that goal, and one of the two offsides goal that Mexico had was valid and gone in, we still had to go to those extreme lengths in order to advance into the next round. And that's right there. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what pisses me off. Is that Mexico had to put themselves into that situation. If nothing changes from the Federación up and the whole entire Liga Mexicana, if nothing changes starting from today, what is it? November 30th, 2022. If nothing changes, we're gonna see the same crap all over again, and it's gonna be frustrating, because the next World Cup is gonna be here, Mexico, and Canada. I Why? Why do we have? Why? That's my question. That's like why? Why? Why do we have to go through these lanes? Why couldn't Tata figure it out right away? This was the best starting lineup that Mexico put out in this whole entire World Cup by far and by miles. And then Tata decides to make subs, and it didn't make any sense. Yes, the Vega for Antuna change didn't really make any type of impact because Luis Chavez and Henry Martin decided to score a goal that had nothing. I think if anything, Uriel Antuna probably hit the corner kick for the first goal, and that's about it. But then you take out Henry Martin and you put in Raul Jimenez, who hasn't played a single minute in England after his injury that he's been fighting for the last year and a half or two. Yeah, you put him in. And then on top of that, guess who made an appearance too, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Guess who decided to make an appearance and guess what? Who Tata decided to put in the last couple minutes to score that only goal that Mexico needed to advance? Rogelio Funes Mori. Why? You took out Edson Alvarez. Why? I know we needed the other goal, but the guy that hasn't really done anything, and I think I heard one of the commentators said that Funes Mori needed to start it. Why? I don't. I never understood none of Tatas Martino's plan of attack, game plan, or anything like that throughout this whole entire World Cup. Backtrack. I didn't understand none of Tatas Martino's game plan, form of attack, or anything in the last 18 months. And now I'm forced to watch Poland versus France on Sunday instead of Mexico. Which, by the way, even if Mexico did advance to the round of 16, it was going to be a hard task in its own for Mexico to even go up against France. You know? This is the first, Mexico's streak of going into the round of 16 snapped at 8. I mean, it's an impressive streak. Don't get me wrong. Going to 8 straight World Cups or 8 World Cups and going to 8 straight round of 16s and getting out of the group stage, that's an impressive stat no matter how you want to take it because, hell, there's teams that can't even make it to back-to-back World Cups unless if you're one of the top dogs. Okay, great. But this wasn't the way. This was never the way that Mexico should have gotten out. And I get it, right? I get it. It shouldn't be surprising. Jose said that from the very start. Talk about what did you expect? What I expected was just I don't know. Hope is what I'm that guy. Hope is always my thing, right? I had hope because if there's anything that the Selección Mexicana gives me is hope in every World Cup because they always find a way to play to come up big in big moments. And I've always believed in that. And I still do not anymore, but I've always believed in that, and that's just the thing. It was just puras fallas. Puras pinches fallas. That's all I have to say. It's puras pinches fallas, man. There needs to be an overhaul. There needs to be an overhaul. My brother texted me earlier today. Shout out to my brother. He said, where is he? He texted me. He's like, now that Tata's gone, throw your name in the hat and put Mexico back on the map in 2026. That is all. I love you, brother. I mean, there's more capable people up there too as well. You know, just. Anyways, like I said, I'm gonna get this. I think I got it all out. Maybe not. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure this is all out for me. Messi decided to ruin Mexico's chances of getting in the World Cup too as well by missing that penalty in the first half against Poland that would probably make the difference in this game. They still ended up winning 2-0. They needed to win this game in order to avoid France in the second round. You see McAllister newly naturalized for Argentina, scored the first one, and Julian Alvarez after like a you know scramble in the middle for the ball to score the second one, got it in the back of the net. We were still praying and hoping that that Argentina would probably scored one more goal or us scoring one more goal. Literally, the second half was just all over the place for all of us. Emotionally, for me, I yelled and jumped for all the goals at work today, and they were all ruled offsides for the third one. I think I pulled a hamstring, if I'm not mistaken, or I almost got a cramp. Regardless of the fact of the matter is that Argentina won, and with the loss, Poland still advanced because Mexico couldn't find a way to score more than 3 goals, and Argentina and Messi decided to miss a penalty that could have changed everything. And then the damn yellow card, the yellow cards is just another thing. Again, I would rather, I would be more understanding in my point, at least for me, and I think it'll make the more sense in the whole entire world if they do this. I mean, I get the argument of the yellow cards on why the yellow cards are there, but if that's the determination for one team to advance and the other one not to advance, I think that's probably like the most dumbest way for a team to advance, simply because you guys have identical records, right? Why have the FIFA? Then why have the rankings? Why have us argue that why Belgium is number one and France is number three and France is defending world champions and stuff? Well, what was it? It was -1 for Mexico and 0 for Poland. But when it was 2-0 for on both sides, they literally had identical scoring records, like 2 goals against, 2 goals for, 0 goal difference. Um, and the ruling of it was that Mexico had, I think, 2 more yellow cards than Poland. And if the player from Poland would have gotten a red card today, then that would have been the difference maker. And Mexico would have had this all over again. But again, I digress to this conversation because it should have never gotten to this point, anyways. That Mexico should have advanced to the World Cup on a technicality that they had. I mean, Poland advanced to the World Cup because they had less yellow cards than Mexico, and that was the tiebreaker. And that's the reason why Mexico was still on the attack on the final minutes. And that's why the goal from Saudi Arabia, give them credit. It was a good 1-2 wall play from between them. Hector Moreno just wasn't put in a spin cycle, couldn't defend, and call it a day. And that game was it. But again, why have the FIFA World? Why have the world rankings if you're not going to use it in play? You use it sometimes to your advantage, or you use it to to dictate this drawing for the World Cup. But you can't when it comes to this to the just in case there's a tie, just in case if people have identical records, why have it in the first place? I mean, that's just my only great. Now I feel like I'm finding a way or an excuse for it, but for Mexico not to advance, and I'm trying to find every detail, regardless of the fact. Every time I kept hearing, I'm like, why is it fair play? Like, what does fair play have to do with this? Like, just yellow cards are always going to be part of the game. So if yellow cards are going to be part of the game, and you're using that as part of the game for one team to advance, like that doesn't make any sense. Just because they're thinking, then why have the rankings in the first place? Is all I'm asking, FIFA. Why have the rankings in the first place if you're really not going to use this to their advantage? And by that, I think if everything was tight, everything was calm, cool, and collective, I think Mexico would advance because Mexico is a higher seed than Poland. I don't know. Okay, now I feel like I'm done. I don't know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you guys think. How do you guys feeling? Are you guys like me? Are you guys upset? Are you guys don't care? It is what it is. Um, let me know how you feel because I am, as you can see, I'm livid, but I should have known. No, I had hope, guys. I had hope that Mexico could probably pull this off. As much as I didn't want to, and like I said, I would have been pissed regardless if they would have advanced to the next round. Um, if they would advance to the next round or not, this would have probably been my same reaction simply because it shouldn't have been like this. We should have seen this from the very start, and we didn't. We didn't. We did it. And now here I am arguing. Mexico, Argentina versus Australia, which is the surprise team coming out of Group D with France. You're gonna see this game on Sunday. I believe it's at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. I'm sorry. I got to see the time schedule. I'll get the times right during the next episode. But that's the game that you're going to see on. I'm sorry, this is the game that you're going to see on Saturday between Argentina and Australia. Australia, the surprising team, come out of Group D. They had a great performance today against Denmark, surprising them 1-0. It was, Denmark was with a very disappointing um, showing in this World Cup and not and they just didn't look like the Denmark that I guess everybody fell in love with in the last couple tournaments in the Euros, especially last year in the Euros, being a dark horse and making it to the semifinal. Um, it wasn't a very good showing. Tunisia still had an opportunity to make it to as well, but they needed to have a goal difference and they couldn't do it. They only got one past France, so that was the reason why Australia advanced because of the wins. And congratulations to them. First time they made it since 2006 in this group in the round of 16. So got to give credit where credit is due. And yeah, congratulations Australia. Now you got Argentina in this matchup. So hopefully, do I see an upset? Probably not. You know, probably not, but you may never know. This World Cup has been providing us with very, very weird upsets and very weird results. Um, so we'll see how it goes. And as for the next one that we should have seen Mexico play in, but now I'm just being that salty guy right now, right? Um, as I'm writing it down right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's France versus Poland on Sunday, D1 versus C2. France was waiting since last week who they're going to face in this group. So this one's on Sunday. And yeah, obviously easy. France got this all the way. Poland didn't look good this World Cup, but they are where they're in right now. They took advantage of beating Saudi Arabia in the second game, and doing what they can against Mexico in the first game, tying 0-0. That helped them on advance. I mean, even though they lost 2-0 against Argentina today, it was more than enough for them to advance through with the result of Mexico winning 2-1 by goal difference, at least at this point in time. So there you go, guys. You guys watched me go mad, and make sure you guys are going to see most of my clips on our social media platforms, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, all of that. Just you can watch this. Make sure you guys follow not only just my podcast, the E.A.F.P podcast, but also follow us under Star Six Media too as well. Follow us on our platform. Same thing: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Snapchat, and Instagram. I mean TikTok and Instagram. And same with John Konabi too as well. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. At 8 o'clock, guys, tonight we have the JCA Sports Podcast coming on today, where we go around the whole National Football League and the NBA too as well on the latest news to give you guys that too as well. Tomorrow, same time, same place. I got group, what is it? TDEF? Yeah, I had to do the alphabet in my head. ENF tomorrow. Find out who are the next four teams to go into the round of 16. That this two teams will play on Monday of next week. Stay tuned for that. Same time, same place. And I am going to drink my sorrow away with this show after the show is over. I like to thank everybody who commented and watched this game and watch me just go all crazy. From Rick to Josh to my sister to Jose. Thank you everybody for watching, commenting. Make sure always like and share all of my episodes, and not just my episodes, but even all our episodes under the Star Six Media platform, the JC Sports Podcast, Big League Chicago, Slapshot, 3 Up, 3 Down, Only Football, and of course the E.A.F.P podcast. Like and share. You can follow me on my personal page, Eric Saulavila. If you guys don't know, I always have these links up, so that's why you guys can see it. Comment there on too as well. I think I got a comment or two actually on my personal Facebook page. Hold on, give me a second. No, I don't. It was a share. I apologize. All of mine just popped up right here. So Again, the links will always be up for you guys if you guys want to join me on any podcast. If you guys want to be a special guest to talk about soccer, I'm always be on. I will be on for the next couple of days, every single day, up until the final of the World Cup, to break down the World Cup. But yeah, guys, Mexico, disappointing. They didn't make it out of the round of 16 out of the group stage for the first time in 8 World Cups. There has to be major changes. There has to be major moves. Tata said he's already out, so that's that. And Messi missed the penalty and decided, okay, cool. Now Mexico's out because of Messi. I mean, we could take that route if we want to feel good about ourselves, but that shouldn't be the reason why we. That shouldn't be the reason why Mexico did not advance out of this group, to be honest with you. Mexico had the opportunity. If they would have played like this from the very start, this would have gone down a lot more easier than it already did. And it is what it is. And now we're facing another World Cup. Or we're facing a World Cup without seeing Mexico in the round of 16, and we have to wait for that wonderful, glorious, looking for quinto partido in the next World Cup, in the next edition, in 3.5 more years, when it's here, and there was probably a better shot of them getting them. Not unless if they had the right players to do so. So we'll see about that. Yeah. Cabron, man. Cabrones. Shit. I'm just upset. It just pisses me off. But anyways, guys, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done ranting. I'm done screaming. I'm done yelling. I'm done. I am done for today. I am calling it a wrap. Thank you guys for commenting and watching. My sister, Rick, Josh, Jose, everybody else. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, 6:30. Until then, guys, thank you. As always, make sure you just like us. Hit the little bell under the John Conavi Facebook page or the Star 6 Media page too as well to get notified when all our episodes are live for you guys. As not only I talk about the World Cup, but we also go nationally too here in the United States of the sports world. Now I am out. I will see you guys tomorrow at 6:30. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I'll see you guys then.
Scrooge smile with the quality of his goal.
See you later.
Oh. Yes. Yes.
He's intolerable.